man's got racing gloves on.
Yeah.
We're getting serious today. Good morning, Arthur.
Good morning.
We're in a really small car today.
We are, yeah.
A little MX-5, man. Certainly quicker than a standard MX-5, Jesus. Mate, she rips, man. Just run me through the basics with this, Arthur. This is...
NB1 1.8, but visually swapped to NB2 so I can see at night. NB1 lights are horrible, yeah. They're abysmal. Stock 1.8 engine, it has a VVT intake on it, basic cooling mods, cool through routes.
The engine itself is unopened, but you've got a supercharger?
Exactly. C3074 Roadster supercharger on it. It's an old EL Motorsport Kraftwerks kit. This one has like a bit more capacity. It's not whining as loud. It's not whining at all.
A little bit sort of quieter, a bit more road friendly.
Exactly. And it's a bit more sophisticated, if you would say.
How much boost are you running?
Right now, 0.5, 0.6.
Okay, so not sort of mental. So about sort of 6-7 psi roughly.
Around, yeah.
And how much horsepower do you reckon roughly?
So the last virtual dyno runs had like 235 at 0.42 bars of boost.
Okay, so quite healthy. And what do these come with standard power?
140.
140, so it's about another 100 horsepower.
Yeah.
And especially in a very lightweight chassis, makes a massive
Exactly,
difference.
Yeah.
Do a little third gear, let's see what she's like. Oh, it does rip, man. Are you kind of happy with the power levels now? Do you kind of want, because you said you were actually building a forged engine as well on the side.
It's fine as it is right now, but I have like a small pulley laying around and it's like smiling at me and dreaming about it.
A little bit more, yeah. And the handling is absolutely spot on.
It's fully poly-bushed, all of it. And the front end is like Mazda Speed engine mounts.
Okay. Coilovers?
It's in BCs and stock sway bars.
Okay. And then with the supercharger kit, is that a kit you buy? It's like a direct fit kit. You haven't got to customize anything, or is it?
On the kit, the intercooler is too small and the ECU is terrible. So I got a mega squirt, bigger intercooler, different piping, all that stuff. Just
to try and upgrade the kit a little bit.
Exactly.
With this car, did you buy it in standard form and kind of do all the modifications over time?
Over the years, or like 4 or 5 years, bought it stock and like slowly built it up.
That's cool, man. So you've had the car for quite a decent amount
exactly.
of time. And you're a bit of a fan of the Nürburgring as well?
Yeah, I drive as much as I can afford.
Yeah. And that's really predominantly what you built this car for, was to be quick around the ring.
Exactly. Drive there, drive a quick lap, and come back with no problems.
Yeah, fingers crossed. Oh mate, this picks up quick. It's got a very linear power delivery, isn't it? It really does pick up quick, this. Handling department, this thing's 30 out of 10, man. It sticks to the road. It feels like it's got more than 230 horsepower. It's because I think they're so light. What do these things weigh, like a ton?
A bit over a ton, like the NB is like 1060, 1080.
Yeah, they're very light. Gearbox is stock?
Stock, 6-speed, nothing done, just oil change. Stock 3.6, I had no 3.9. I had a 4.1 from a 5-speed in there, but then the car was undrivable.
Okay.
So it was way too short.
Now you find you lengthen the ratios a little bit, it's much better.
Back to stock ratio, it's fine.
And standard gearbox can take the power, because obviously it's quite a bit different to where it was originally.
Yeah, it's the 6-speed, so it takes like up to, I think, 400.
Oh, it's quite a lot of horsepower. LSD?
Yeah, Torsen.
It's got Torsen, which is stock in one of these?
Yeah.
What about the clutch?
Just a cheap XCD stage 3 clutch and a flywheel.
Like a paddle clutch and a lightweight flywheel. One thing you can say is it's not overly loud, this car. I guess with Germany, because you've got the TÜV and the police, you can't go mental in the sound department.
Yeah, exactly. Also, I prefer it like this because I like my neighbors. So.
You don't want them swearing at you every time you leave. And this car is an original European market left-hand drive MX, so like German market MX5.
Exactly, yeah.
Are MX5s popular in Germany? Do you sort of see many when you're driving around?
They became very popular like in the last 5 years. When the scene started going and people started to appreciate these cars, like
they started getting a bit more popular.
Exactly, because like 5-6 years ago, there was like, oh, what a shit box.
It's not kind of like overly raspy.
I want to have like some kind of tone and not annoy everybody.
Yeah. Just run us through some of the motor spec.
Alright, 1.8 non-VVT engine, 226,000 kilometers unopened, just new seals. VVT intake from the facelift model, Jackson Racing, I think, header, 421, bit more exhaust flow.
And that's your little supercharger down here. I guess the boost on these is actually dictated by the size of the pulley.
By the size of the pulley and their RPMs. Yeah.
So if you actually go for a smaller pulley, you actually get more, less rotation, more boost.
Yeah, exactly. I have like a 75mm pulley laying around, but this one would most likely kill the engine. So.
Yeah, you think a little bit too much boost with the smaller one.
Exactly.
What size is the current pulley?
It's an 85mm, so like 10mm smaller. It's like a big difference in between.
Down here we've got K&N air filter, Jap speed, aluminium radiator, and then you've got your front mounted intercooler down here. And that's what you were kind of saying before, that the one that's supplied with the kit was a little bit too small.
It's like this big, so.
What's the standard compression ratio? You haven't got to lower the comp at all?
No, I think like 9.5 or 9 to 1, something like that.
It's not too bad. What do you think you spent roughly, Arthur, to get to the engine to this kind of level, to get to this horsepower figure?
I bought the kit used, so I think with all the things maybe 4K.
4K all in.
It's relatively cheap. People pay a lot more for a lot less.
And then ECU was now Mega Squirt.
Mega Squirt MS3, yeah.
And who mapped it?
A friend of mine did the idle, and the rest we just did over like auto-tune.
AFRs now are all sensible?
They are all sensible, just maybe a cold start is a bit wanky, and like maybe if it's hot, if it idles a bit high.
Yeah, I got you.
That's alright.
Bodywork, Arthur, is all basically a facelift from an MB2?
Yeah, exactly. The lights are like H7 lights from an NB2, bumper. The rear lights are from an NB2 as well.
Wheels you mentioned were Motec Nitros.
Exactly. They're like 15 by 8 plus 20s, and I have a 205 50 15 NS2R on it all round. The brakes are from an SVT Sportive model, so they are 270 in the front and 276 in the back, so a bit bigger. A nice little upgrade. Yeah.
How do you find sort of braking performance, like on the ring and stuff? Do you find the brakes ever fade? They're okay?
They are okay, but for example, the pads aren't that great for the money. I think I will go to another brake system someday, maybe more aggressive pads, and just work it out a bit. It's not perfect, but it's all right. Yeah. Graphics as well are very, very cool, Arthur. You were saying you actually have a graphic design business. Yeah, exactly. And your friend does all the vinyl printing. Yeah, I'm a graphic designer, and my friend does all the wraps. So
it almost looks like Advan Racing a little bit.
Yeah, but I can't afford the tires.
So you come with the Nankangs. It does look really, really cool though, man. I think it's always nice to have a bit of a sort of racing livery on a street car. Yeah. And the original colour on this was black?
Exactly, it was a black car, just normal high gloss black.
Interior wise, roll cage?
Roll cage from SBS, roll bar, then sub-bolt seats, sparkle belts. The floor, seats are mounted to the floor because otherwise I wouldn't fit. Steering wheel, airbags are removed, and yeah, just some gauges, just the basics. Yeah. You know?
And then the pièce de résistance.
Yeah.
Yeah, Nan's carpet, man. Look at that, looks sick. That was a big bug. throttle response is almost instantaneous. As soon as you touch it, you can really kind of feel the power just instantly kicks in. You haven't got any sort of lag at all, have you? And the brakes are very sharp. They've got such a predictable rear end. The only thing that's probably very different to like a longer wheelbase car is they're very snappy. You've got to be very, very quick on the reaction. But I'd love to take one of these to a drift day and really spend a whole day
just learning
about the car and the sort of snappiness. But I think reality is, Arthur, if you can drive if you can drift an MX-5, you can probably drift anything. Anything with a longer wheelbase is going to seem comparatively very easy compared to this car. Arthur, massive thanks for bringing it down, man.
Glad to.
Really appreciate it. I really enjoyed it. It's a top level MX-5. I'm going to chuck Arthur's Instagram down here. So if you guys want to give him a little follow and keep up to speed with the build, feel free. As always, I hope you guys enjoyed this cheeky little video. Make sure to give it a like, put any comments down below. I'll do my best to get back to you, and we look forward to seeing you soon.
Better than ever, son of the liver. I'll make it back on cover. So take up, better, bigger, better than ever. Make it back on cover. Check out the sinister sound that we deliver. Like the do run, they do run.